Welcome everyone. I'm so excited that you are here. The first thing that we're going to do is to make sure that you are signing in so you can receive your CLU certificate later through email. So please go ahead and sign in. You can see that you can go to www.educatoralexander.com/sign-in, or you can simply go to the pod where it says web links to. Click sign in here and click browse to. And it's a very easy way to get to the sign in, so you can go ahead and sign in to get your CLU certificate. While you are signing in, I'm going to just go ahead and introduce and let you know where you are and what you're going to learn today. My name is Desiree Alexander, aka Educator Alexander, and I am the host to this wonderful webinar that I'm so excited to actually be a participant in as well. The webinar is sponsored by LACUE, the Louisiana Association of Computer Using Educators. We have a conference every year in December, and I'm so happy. My birthday is December 7th, and I always get to celebrate my birthday with LACUE, which is always great. So just look into the conference. More information can definitely be found at lacue.org. But they sponsor a webinar once every month, so do look into joining us in the future as well. Today, we have the privilege and the honor of being taught by Paula Nagel, and she's going to teach us great websites that really require no registration. You just get on them and you start. So no email, no problem. So again, make sure that you are signing in. We are going to go ahead and get started. If you don't have time to sign in right now, you can definitely sign in at the end. So we will come back to this link so you can sign in at the end. So what I'm going to do is sit back. I'm going to enjoy this webinar, and I'm going to go ahead and let Paula start by introducing herself. If you see the chat box at the bottom of the screen, if you have any questions at all, just type it into the chat box and we're going to answer them all at the end. So any questions at all, don't hesitate, just type it at the bottom. All right, so Miss Paula, you can go ahead and introduce yourself, and we cannot wait to hear your information.
Thank you so much, Desiree and LACUE, for sponsoring us today. I am excited to share with my fellow participants. No email, no problem. And like we said, it was being brought to you by LACUE. Please mark your calendar and join us for the conference that is hosted in my hometown of New Orleans, December 7th through the 9th. Hope to see you there. Remember, your membership in LACUE is also free. Okay, there's a picture of myself and Miss Desiree, who is our host today, and we are excited to get going. So let's do that right now. Okay, for those of you that are on Twitter, I am at PL Noggle, and I am a prolific tweeter, and that's where I do most of my social media stuff. I started on that site and have continued to do so over the years. So that's where you can find me the easiest, but I'm also everywhere else. Okay, I am the Region 1 Director for LACUE, and I'm a 4th grade teacher at Bisonet Plaza in Metairie, Louisiana. Okay, on this site, which we will share with you at a later date, I have hyperlinked the different kinds of things I'm going to be talking about. So if you want to jump straight to them after we share this presentation with you, you can do that. But I'm going to go through them one at a time, talk about them first, and then toward the end of the webinar, I'll do some live demos. Okay. If you're like me and your students are doing any kind of creations, we know that digital citizenship training is an important thing to teach all of our kids, and we want them to make sure that they are using images that are copyright free. So there are a couple of websites that are really good for kids, especially the younger ones, to use, because all they have to do is go to it and find their information and they know that it is going to be a Creative Commons licensed picture for them to use. So the first one I want to talk about is Pixabay. This is an awesome site. You can get both images and clip art and photos. And what I'm trying to demonstrate here in my little graphic is, let's say we have students doing projects. And our first student is writing a science project about tigers and their habitat. And they want to include pictures. So they have where they could go into Pixabay and type in that and find it. The next student was tasked with writing an opinion paper about whether students should be allowed to have cell phones or not in the classroom. So they would be able to log on and find an image to add into their report, or if they were doing it in a Google Doc or an online thing, like I have my students blog and they always love to add images to their blog posts. So that would be a great way. My next student's doing a report on Louisiana, the different state flags, flower, etc., and they want to add images to that. So they were able to get into Pixabay and easily find what they were looking for and know that they had the right to use that image in their presentation. And then there are even math symbols that can be found. So basically anything that you're looking for, you can find it on Pixabay. And all you do is go to pixabay.com and type in your search term and then download the image. The same thing can happen at picsforlearning.com. Picsforlearning.com. It is a free image library where they vet all the pictures that go into it. They are copyright friendly. And again, you just type in your search term and decide which picture you want, download it to your computer or your camera roll if you're on a device, and then insert it into whatever you're doing, whether it be a PowerPoint, a blog post, a Google slideshow, whatever. Photo editing. Sometimes you take wonderful classroom pictures and you just want to add a little zip and zing to them, or maybe you want to create a collage of pictures to put somewhere. Well, by using some of these free and easy to access photo editors, you can do some wonderful things with pictures, and then you could end up tweeting them out, sharing them on Instagram, putting them on Facebook, etc. So here's an example. I took a picture each year. This was using PicMonkey. Each year, my teachers at our school pick our one word for the school year. So last year, mine was simplify. So during one of our staff developments, we were given this cutout. We were asked to put our one word on it, and they were displayed on a bulletin board in our teacher's lounge for the entire year. Well, I wanted to add mine to a blog post, and I thought, well, the picture looks okay, but by putting it in PicMonkey, I was able to add a border, first of all, crop and make it a little bigger, add a border, and then add a caption to it. And then this other example shows where I took some images and I created a collage. There's my picture that I use on my social media, the moderator of Fourth Chat, and there's the title of the book that I co-authored. All done in a free and easy to use editor. You can also do something very similar with BeFunky. Now, of course, both of those they're what I call freemium sites. You can do things for free. You can create an account if you'd like, and you can also pay for some features. But I am a poor school teacher, so I'm always about using the free sides of every application. So here's one I took over the weekend. I attended a Ed Camp Organizers Summit in Atlanta with two other wonderful educators from Louisiana, Natalie from Lafayette and Emily from, I always forget where she's from, not Lake Charles, Alexandria. And then I decided, okay, I wanted to take that image and just do a little something different to it. So I used BeFunky for this, added a border, cropped it, put in a little bubble and said, we love Ed Camp Foundation because they sponsored a wonderful event for us. So imagine your students taking classroom pictures They take a picture of themselves, and maybe they want to add a speech bubble, or maybe they want to add a pop art effect to it. There are lots of different things you can do with this particular photo editor for free. And also on BeFunky, you can make a collage as well. Voice recordings. This is awesome, especially for those of us that teach ELA or work with, excuse me, English as a second language, or if we are teaching a foreign language. How great is it to have your students do a voice recording where they can share it with you on a blog? They can send it out via email. They can add it to Google Classroom. They can do it, share it and host it in many different places. So the one that I really like is Vukaroo. Um, it is just as simple as when you go to that website, this is what you see. You get this big red button, you click on it, you give it access to access your microphone, and you just start talking. And when you're done, you click again and you stop. Then you can listen to it, decide whether it's what you like or not. If you don't like it, you can re-record. If you do like it, you have options to get the link, to send it as an email, to get an embed code to put it on a website. Now, the only thing I would caution you with is that they're hosted by this particular site, and there is no information as to how long they are available. I have some that have been around for a long time, but then other ones they can disappear in, a couple of months. So it's not going to be a necessarily permanent thing. But the way that I use this in my classroom is I have my students practice their reading fluency. They can click on it, record themselves reading one page in the particular book that they've chosen for the week, and then either email it to me or we can host it on our class blog. And I've also included a YouTube video if you wanted to show your students just how quick and simple it is to use this particular voice recorder. Another one that you can do is you can just simply go to online-voice-recorder.com, and you have the same kind of option. You just press on the red button, you talk until you've given your message, and you press stop when you're done. And I don't know if this is going to work through the webinar, but I'll try it and see. Let's see. This is just a quick example of one that I did. Okay, so that gives you an idea of how you would use that. And again, I just simply added mine. You download it as an MP3, and I just put it in Dropbox and then got the link. Okay, back channel. Yes. Ah, I forgot that. Thank you so much. Okay, well I'll share that at the end. I'll take my headset off. But anyhow, let me go into what back channeling is. I throw this word around a lot, and some people go, "What's back channeling?" And I said, "Well, back channeling is when you're typing into a chat box, like on this webinar. Some of you are using that. Or if you use a site like Edmodo, you can actually throw up a question and people can answer it at that moment in time, or they can answer it and then you can see it at a different time. So back channeling is a way for you to have some interactivity during a live presentation, or you can send your students off and say, hey, I want you to include your ideas to what we're doing today on this particular topic, and I want you to add something and make a comment so that the students can be more actively engaged in any kind of a presentation that is being delivered. The one that is a wonderful one to use is Today's Meet. And you would simply go to that website. You would type in a name for your room, such as Miss Noggles in the date, and you can change it from a day, 1 week, up to, I believe it lasts for a year. You open the room, you have the URL that you get, and you share it out with anybody that you want to join in your today's meet. So they would then enter, they are asked to type in their name, and you're off to the races. They can say whatever they want. With students, you do have to have a discussion about, proper etiquette in an online forum like this. And what is nice about it is that you can actually download, when you're done, you can download a PDF format of everything that was entered into the today's meet. I have done that with my students in the past where we've talked about, did you use proper grammar? Were your sentences complete? So I actually turn it into an English lesson also. Another one to use, and a lot of people don't think of using Padlet as a back channel, but you can do this. You can simply go to the Padlet.com and open a Padlet wall, and then again, just share out that URL either with your students or with anybody else. Say you're doing a Google Hangout, you can share the URL with the other classes that you are participating with, and they can just simply go to your wall. And all you have to do to add to it is you just double click anywhere on this wall and a box will open up that will allow you to write something. And I usually tell people, now of course my students would not be putting in their last name. They would just be putting in their first name. And they can write something, they can actually do a recording, a video, add a picture, etc. So Padlet is an awesome way to gather thoughts on the fly as you're doing a presentation. It could be either something you're presenting or even as students are doing presentations. Other students could be making comments about what they're learning as they're listening to someone's live presentation in your classroom. Creating a poll. Have you ever just wanted to ask your kids a quick question, maybe gather some data to make some math graphs, something like that? Well, this is an awesome one that you are allowed to go to polls.io and just simply on the fly create a poll just as you're in class. You could have this up on your interactive whiteboard and you are ready to go. So this is just how simple it is. You open it up, you type in your question, you put your answers, and once you've answered it, I'm going to pick summer, and you can see I've answered it a couple times just so you can see what your results look like. Lends itself well to science activities and math activities. So another great free, no registration required website to use with your students. Shortening links. I am a Google user, so I create most of my things that I share with my students in Google Docs. And if you've ever used Google, you know that you get this incredibly long URL that my students would have a very difficult time typing in to get access to if there wasn't a better way for me to share it. So there are a couple of URL shorteners that I really like to use. My first and favorite is Bitly. It's the one I started with, so it's the one that I tend to use. This is an example. This is this particular Google slideshow has been shortened using this Bitly. And then I decided, oh, well, I can even customize it. So what I did was, this is what happened when I just shortened it without customization. And then this is what happened when I went in and customized it. So now that I can say LACUE 729 because that was today's date for this presentation. So I really like that. It's a lot easier for kids to type in that short URL to access whatever I'm sharing with them instead of those great big long Google URLs. And there are other websites we use too that sometimes have very long and complicated URLs for my students. Another one you can use is the one that Google created, which is goo.gl. And the reason I use this one over Bitly is when I use this, I don't have the customization feature, but what I do like is that it also creates a QR code for me. and my students love using QR codes. We're not a one-to-one classroom, but I have about a 2-to-1, and I can post QR codes around the classroom. They would walk up with our device and scan the QR code, and they would be taken to the website. They like doing this when they did, last year they did a Google slideshow that contained their poems that they'd written over the year, and it made a nice display out in the hallway for people to come by, see that student's name, the QR code. When they scanned it, it took them into their Google site poetry presentation. Creation tools. I want students that are creators of content, not just consumers of content. So creation tools are things that I'm always on the lookout for, especially for my fourth graders who are 9 and 10, and most of them don't have an email and can't register to use sites. So these are the creation tools that I like to use a lot. Big, huge labs is one of my favorites, and you have many options on this site. You can make motivational posters, such as the example that I have here on the slide. This is one of my students sitting in the hot seat during a Google Hangout talking to the other classroom. So I just put on, I just took that picture and turned it into a poster saying video conferencing, flattening flattening the walls of our classroom. You can make trading cards, magazine covers, jigsaw puzzles, pop art, and so much more. And if you don't have your own pictures, Big Huge Labs is associated with Flickr. You can go into the Flickr Creative Commons, find a photo that you want to turn into a motivational um, poster or a magazine cover or whatever, and use it, and then you'll know that you also have copyright permission to do so. Build your wild self. My students love having avatars on the websites that I actually create logins for them, such as Edmodo, Discovery Ed, things like that. So when I create a classroom and I have given them their email, no, I'm sorry, not email, they don't have it, their login information and their password, but they go, but I want an avatar. I want to create my own avatar. So one of the ones that they can do that in is a site that is sponsored by the New York Zoo and Aquarium called Build Your Wild Self. And boy, can you make these wild. You can actually do it with just a person, but the kids like getting wild and creative and adding the different kinds of headdresses and wings and feathers and arms and legs and all the different things that go on. And not only can you use this as an avatar creator, which you could then take a screenshot of and add it into your profile on whatever site that you're using. We've had fun just creating them for writing prompts to use in our English class. Memes. A lot of people love these. I know on Facebook, my friends are always creating these and putting them out and giving us a good laugh. So this one is free and easy to use. You can use pictures that are on the site, or you can upload your own, and then you just simply change the caption to whatever you want to do. I use the same picture on this one. It would be, please teacher, no pop quiz today. And then on another one that I shared on Facebook, I said, dear God, please tell me that summer is just beginning, because we all know it's rapidly coming to an end. Kids love doing these. It's great to add to social media, put it on your website, or again, use it as a writing prompt. Stupidflix.com is a video recorder that I used, oh gosh, way back when, and I thought it had left. And as I was doing research for this website, I went, oh, it still exists. And it is really easy to use and put together. I created this sample video in less than 5 minutes. And let me remember to unplug my headset. And let's make sure. All I did was I just took some pictures I had and just quickly threw them into the editor. on Stupeflix, and you get to pick what kind of thing it looks like. I did mine this way. You can do it as a scrapbook. You have several different options that you can use. And the music is right there on the site. I just picked something that they have, which allows for copyrighted music to be used. And I'm not kidding. That video took less than 5 minutes to put together. All right. Excuse me. Okay. Have you ever wanted your students to keep track of things that you've given them to do? Maybe there's a long-term project they need to work on. With my students, I want them to finish a writing task within a 2-week period. Or maybe they just need to make I need to do this, this, and this. Well, by going to dailytodO.org, they can create a very simple to-do list, and it will track you and allow you to see what is going on, whether you're working on your to-do list or whether you're not. And as you can see, I have not been doing mine because I have read. If I had done it, I would have gone in and clicked on it, and then I would have little green dots instead. Actually, I did work on a couple of these. I just forgot to go in and do it. But it's an easy way for you to track progress. And I think this is a good skill to teach our students, especially when tracking out for long-term projects. I know they tend to let it go to the last minute, and then they're overwhelmed trying to get something done. Stitch It. This is a way to create a list of websites that you want your students to go to, and all you have to do is share one URL. It doesn't have to be just websites. It could be a collection of online photos or articles or videos, anything that is online and that you can get a URL for, you can add to your Stitch. So this is an example. And I just took some of the websites that I've included in this particular webinar, and I just put a few of them up in here, but you can see that it takes you right to those websites without you having to remember each address. All I have to do is share out this URL, and then you have access to the ones that I'm sharing with you. You could do it with, like I said, pictures, presentations. If you had, like, when you teach a classroom of 28 kids, you might want to stitch all of their presentations together and share it out as one URL. Have you ever wanted your students to create a web page, but you didn't really want to set up a website? Well, this is a great way to do that. Loose leaves, you can create a web page and add anything you want to it. It gives you 2 URLs. One is the one that you would share out with the public, and the other one is if you wanted to keep access to your particular leaf and you wanted to go back and edit it. So what I did was I created, by going to the site, it's very simple, very no frills, but as you can see, I added some text, I added a hyperlink, I added an image. And if I wanted to go back and later on add more to this, I do not use this email, this URL. I have to keep track of the one that they give me for my editing. So there are actually 2 URLs that are created when you use it. Oops, sorry about that. Went way past where I want to be. Okay, so that's the end of it. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get out of my actual presentation, and we're going to go back and talk about some of these, and I'm going to show you exactly what they look like in a live demo. So let's go to Pixabay first. This one, I'm seeing this one used all over the web. Blogger friends of mine use this all the time. Let's say I wanted a picture of a computer that I wanted to add to my blog or tweet, anything. I mean, you just are given lots and lots and lots of options. You know, you have many, many, many choices. If you wanted to do something about an animal, say you wanted to do a lion, you're doing a report on a lion, okay? And you come to one and you say, oh, I really like this one. Let me use this one. You come in here, you click on free download, and of course you tell it where it's going. And you will see what kind of license you've been given. You just download it, and on a Mac it goes into my download file, or I can save it into my docs or my pictures or my desktop. I make the decision as to where I want to do that. So when I click on that, you also have a choice of sizes. Now remember, it's always better to download a large size and then scale it down than it is to download a small size and try to scale it up. So I usually tell my students to go for the large size, because if you're putting it into a PowerPoint presentation or a blog post, you probably are not going to want it this big. You're going to want to actually downsize it when you get it into your site, so you won't get any pixelation by going from bigger to smaller. So keep that in mind when you're downloading pictures. But, you know, play around with Pixabay, and I promise it will quickly become one of your favorite go-tos for any time you're looking for images to add to your work. Pix for Learning is not as robust. It doesn't have as many things because, like I said, there are people behind the scenes on this one that have been vetting this for classroom use. So let's go and do lion here. And you still get, you know, you still have a lot of stuff, but you know, now we've gone to sea lion, and it's not quite as pretty and nice to look at, but you still have a lot of options. Okay, so if I wanted to use, let's use this one, I would simply click on it, and again, you've got a nice large size image. You would download it. It's going to take you, I don't know why it did that, because it's not supposed to do that. I don't know what just happened. I'm so sorry, because it is not a sign in. Well, what I would do, oh, there it is. I'm sorry, I clicked on the wrong thing. It's down under the picture. It's like, no, that's not supposed to happen. There we go. Download your image, blah, 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 blah. You can do that. You'll notice that if you're a Google person, you can save it right into your Google account, which makes it very nice. I like this because you get the photographer's name, exactly where the picture was taken. You get a lot of information, which is nice to share with students also. Okay, if you want to do the photo editing, my go-to will always be PicMonkey. That would be the one I would start with. I like BeFunky, but PicMonkey just seems to be a better option for me. All you do when you open up the site is it's, you know, letting you know that there's apps for it. I would go here. I'm saying, okay, I want to edit. Okay, so I'm going to choose a picture to edit. I could go to my computer, go to my pictures, and let me just say I wanted to do, I created this avatar. Let me say I just wanted to play with this, go into this, and I could crop it. These are the options that you have. I could add um, some effects to it. I could do some touch up. Well, of course, it's an avatar. I could add text to it. So you can pick what you want to add, and I could just say, oh, yeah, that looks good. Type in my name. And obviously, I don't want that right in the middle of my face. So add this down here. And now I have just changed my picture, my avatar a little bit just by adding some text. There are actual stickers, some of them and overlays and frames and all sorts of different things that you can do. Now remember, not all of them are free. Some of them are on the freemium side and the paid side, but you can do a lot of free things with PicMonkey, and it's easy to use. Upload your picture, play with it, download your, save your copy, or share it directly out to Twitter, Facebook, etc. I don't even want that, so I'll leave. Voice recording. Let me just demo this one. So this is what you see when you go to the site, Vukaroo, and you just click to record. You will be asked to allow it access to your microphone. Hello, everybody. This is Paula Noggle from New Orleans, Louisiana, bringing to you today No Email, No Problem. Get to listen to it. Hello, everybody. This is Paula Noggle from New Orleans, Louisiana, bringing to you today No Email, No Problem. Okay, so are you happy with it? You click here to save. And these are the choices that you have. You can share the link, you can get an embed code, you can share it out as an email, or you can put it directly on your favorite social media. If you didn't like it and you want to retry, you can also delete it and start again. An embed code looks like this. You would just copy all of this and put it on your website, your wiki, or whatever you might be using. And look, they even have a QR code. Pretty cool, huh? Great feature to use when your students are doing book talks. You could actually, like I said, the only problem is we don't know exactly how long they last, but you could have them create this, cut out the QR code, and paste it in the back of a book and let other students scan it and hear what the students have to say about it. Okay, let's go to today's meet. Oh, I'm so sorry. And see how easy this one is to use in a live demo. Okay, my room. I'm going to put, I'm just going to put today's date in it just for ease of use. And my name. Oh, no spaces. Sorry about that. And I'm going to say I'm just going to keep it open for a week. Open my room. And if you people go to that URL at the top, you can join my today's meet and be part of the back channel. So I'm just going to put my, my nickname is Paula, and I join and I type in can't spell. And I'm sorry that typing is probably kind of loud on the webinar. Ah, yay. Awesome. Okay. So we're in and we're going and everybody's in. Thank you. Pretty cool. And then, like I said, when you want, you can click on the room tools and you can actually save it as a PDF. And now remember, this one would be gone in a week. You can set it for a day. You can set it for a longer period of time. It's fun watching everybody. Okay, let's get out of that and go back. Okay, on the Padlet, let me open the Padlet again. Okay, unfortunately, it's a little bit of a long link, but if you actually go to the Padlet, remember, you don't have to do anything except double click. It's going to open up a place for you to add your thoughts to this Padlet. And one of the things you're going to want to really pay attention to is this awesome wiki space that this teacher has been creating for many, many years. I have been following her, and this is where I get a lot of my information about No email, no problem, because she keeps this wiki updated fairly regularly about all of the great sites that she has discovered that you do not need email or registration to use. And there are tons of them. So if you run out of playtime with the ones I've shared with you today, go to her website and you'll have lots of work to do before school starts to check out all the awesome sites that she uses. Oh, just a reminder that when you're on the Padlet, once you've finished doing whatever you want to do, I'm going to get rid of that. Obviously, I don't want that. But you double click to start it, and then when you're finished, you just click, and it's, if I had actually put anything there, it would have stayed. But how easy is that to set up for your students? It could be an on-the-fly formative assessment, a back channel, whatever you want to make it. Okay, I did the polls, bit.ly. Okay, let me show you again how easy bit.ly is to use. Here is my very long URL for this presentation. I'm going to copy it, go to bit.ly. Bit.ly asks me to go ahead and paste in that very long URL. And because I've already done that, it's going to say, here it is, da da da. Now, of course, you can sign up. I do have a bit.ly account. I use bit.ly all the time, and I do like to track it. So, yes, I do have an account. And I also have a Google Chrome extension that I use all the time. But bit.ly is, like I said, is my go-to, mainly because I can also customize them. You can do the same thing with Google. Let me go to this one and show you the difference. It's not a whole lot different, but like I said, it does generate a QR code automatically for you. So that is awesome. You'll notice that even without, well, I'm signed in to my Google account, it keeps track of it. So there's your stuff. You just go to details, and there's your QR code. And I would click on that, get the QR code in its own window so that I could make sure that when I scale it into a presentation or onto a site that I'm not going to get it pixelated. And then anybody with a QR code reader on their device can get to my presentation very, very quickly. Okay, let's go look at Big Huge Labs just so you can see what it looks like. Look at all the things you can do. You can have fun for days. Okay? And like I said, the favorite one of mine is the Motivator. I absolutely love making these. My students love making these. I think the students also have a lot of fun with Photo Booth. If you want to create a magazine cover, and all you have to do is click on whichever one you want to use. If you want to upload a file, you would just go here. If you wanted to go to Flickr and get one, oh, they have lots of integration. So let me go choose a file. And I will just pick, let's see, this is a group that we were working with the other day. And you would just give it a title, put something in there. I'm just going to put sample. You could add some more text here, and then you just tell it you want it created, and you tell it create. And for some reason, my photo didn't work. Choose file. Choose another one. Oh, there it goes. It did work. It was just being slow. Okay. And it was a blurry picture, of course. But anyhow, that was, I would obviously choose a better picture, but that's how quick and easy it is. And then you can download it or share it out. And so it's very simple and easy to use. Okay, let's look at the Mem Generator. I know these are popular, and again, a great discussion starter or writing prompt. Lots of different things that can be chosen. You would just pick one, and then when you go to it, you can change the wording on it to whatever you want. Okay, so, oh, okay. I love Pokemon Go. Becoming quite the rage, isn't it? So when you go here, you would just type in what you want for your top text, your bottom text, generate it, and then download it. Couldn't be easier, couldn't be simpler. All right, and I am going to, let me do this one. Okay, this is what it looks like. You would just simply click on make a free video. You have themes that you choose from so that you can, have it whichever way you want it to look. Let's see, let's just do classic. Okay, and it's got some built-in music with it. You want to make a video, you go in here, you would add your photos that you want to, you can add videos, you can add text. So you might want to add a text one to, is like your title shot. Add all your pictures in, move them around, get them the way you want it. And then when you want to add some music to it, you can do that. You can add a soundtrack so you could actually speak over it. And then when you get everything all going and organized, at the end they also let you pick a music track if you want that. And then you can produce it and share it. You can preview it as you're going along. So it's, like I said, it's very intuitive to use. Imagine your kids creating all sorts of videos about classroom projects, things that are going on, things that they want to share out with the world. Okay. Desiree, I am going to stop at this point and see what we're doing as far as questions.
All right. Thank you, Paula. I only saw one question, so if you have any other questions, please go ahead and type them in at this time. And Paula, if you can share your screen again and pull up the last couple of slides about signing in and about the evaluation. So first question, Paula, is with daily to-do, can the student share their list with you so teachers can actually see them?
They share the URL with you? Yes, they can. So let me go. Yes, all they'd have to do is, send out the URL. So let me go to the very end of my presentation. And again, I wanted you to know that the slides that I used are from Slides Carnival. And again, we would like to give a big shout out to LACUE for sponsoring this presentation. And for all of our Louisiana educators who are in the room, please mark your calendars and know that Ed Camp NOLA is going on October the 29th, and we would love to have you join us. And here's a reminder to fill out the evaluation and to sign in to get your CLU certificate in case you didn't do that at the beginning. Is that where you wanted me to be, Desiree?
Yes, ma'am. And I want to let everyone know to please, please, please sign in. That's the only way you receive your CLU certificate. And also, Paula very graciously said that, you can put it back up, please, Paula. Paula very graciously said that she would share her presentation. So we're going to email you the link to that. And also, this webinar is being recorded and it will be on the LACUE YouTube channel. And I'm going to also email you the link to the LACUE YouTube channel. So you're going to get two emails. One will have Paula's presentation and the YouTube channel, and then you're going to get another email from the president of LACUE with your CLU certificate. So you must sign in for that to happen. And since this is a free webinar and sponsored by LACUE, we please ask you, the only thing we ask from you is to fill out an evaluation. You see that both of them, the evaluation and the sign in, is at educatoralexander.com/ for the evaluation is /evaluation, for the sign in is /sign-in. Or if you just go to where it says web links to, you can simply click on sign in here and click to browse to, or you can click on fill out evaluation and click browse to. Very, very easy to get to it. Even though we are wrapping up, I'm going to leave this room open just in case you want to use the web links too, until I see everyone signed out. And then I will know everyone is done. So please sign in and please fill out an evaluation. We greatly appreciate it. And that is it for us. Paula, do you have any other announcements? Or if anyone has any questions, still feel free to type them in the chat box.
No, I just want people to know that with my sharing my screen, I do not have access to the chat. So to anyone who is in the chat room chatting with me, hi, hello, thank you for being here with us. When I did stop sharing briefly, I saw Emily was in the room. Yay, Emily! And I know Inky had signed in before we got started, but I don't know who else is actually present. But thank you so much for being part of what did we call it, Desiree? Flip flop on your sofa and get some PD, huh?
Yes, for the summer. We're going to continue these. Paula, you can stop sharing. I'll put it up through the Adobe so you can see the chat box. I don't want you to miss all these great jobs that's coming in for you right now. Tony asks Paula, can he share the link to your slides? Would that be okay?
Uh, when you get the link, it will be a view only. If you know enough about Google, if you want to go to File, make a copy, then you can do whatever you want with the slides. You know, just be fair and give out, uh, give me a shout out saying that this was my original presentation. I've done that in the past. I used a good friend of mine, Natalie's, the other day about Breakout, but I certainly gave her lots of credit. Hey, Tony Vincent's in the room. Hey, Tony, how are you? Bonnie, thank you for being here. I enjoyed presenting yesterday at your wonderful conference in St. John the Baptist Parish.
And I thank everyone for being here and learning from Paula. And Paula, just a great big thank you to you for the amazing job that you just did. There's some that I know that I'm actually going to start using, so I'm very excited about it. The slide is coming back up for those of you who needed to sign in or fill out the evaluation. Once you're done, you can just simply click on the X in the top right hand corner. And again, thank you so much, Paula. Thank you, LACUE, for putting this on. Educate Alexander for sponsoring. And I thank all of you. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. And remember to sign in so you can get all of the resources that were shared with you today. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Desiree, for being such a gracious host. It was awesome. And I look forward to many more of these from LACUE.